gang. Sorry. I'm trying to mask my disappointment with overexuberance and humor because if you're like me and you have a position in GameStop or AMC, you're probably pretty upset today. It was not a fun day. In this video, I'll give my thoughts on the current state of both GameStop and AMC. I'll give you, of course, a quick rundown of my portfolio. I did make a fair amount of trades today, and then I'll be letting you know from a technical perspective what I'll be looking for tomorrow in GameStop, AMC, the market, Tesla, and all those important stocks that we care about. But before we hop into that, don't forget to join up with the Moon Gang by hitting the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of the update videos like this or the Monday to Friday live streams, sometimes I throw in some extra ones, don't forget to go over to that bell icon, click on it, and switch it to always so you get notified whenever there's any new pieces of content. And on top of that, if you want 2 free stocks, make sure you're checking out that link to Webull. You'll get one for signing up and another one for depositing $100. At a bare minimum, you're guaranteed at least a free $10, so it's worthwhile to check out. All right, let's hop into it. So before we talk into the current stars of the show, GameStop and AMC, let's do a quick portfolio update. I did make a fair amount of trades today. I'll go through this very, very quickly. So if you've been paying attention to the portfolio updates, you know that I've been shorting VIAC because of Tiblio, which is our options picker service. They partnered up with the Moon Gang. There's a link in the description of this video. So I've been short. I had actually 3 put positions on VIAC, strike price of $90. VIAC, Viacom, got absolutely decimated today. I was in all 3 at $7.50. I sold the first one at $9.25, the second one at $12, and then the third one at $17.50. So I gained about $1,600 from VIAC. Then I had some put plays on Tesla, and man, sound the alarm. Not only did I make 1 profit today on Tesla, but I made 2. If you've been paying attention to this channel, you know I have the worst time making profits on Tesla. So I took it easy. I bought 2 at 7. I sold 1 at $8.40, so a profit of $140. And then I sold the second one right before the market closed at $12.05, which was a gain of $5.05. So that was a $600 gain on Tesla. FNKO, another call play from Tiblio. I bought 2, really quick play. I was in at $2.40. I sold both at 3, so that was a gain of $120. And then other than that, I didn't lock really anything in. I'm swinging some plays over. Right now, I have some put plays on the market, betting it goes down. I'll be able to explain better why in just a second when I show you the chart for the S&P 500. But I have 4 puts, strike price 385. As of now, they're up 15%, but I'm swinging them. The other one, once again from Tiblio, TPGY, I bought 1750 puts. As of now, they're up a crazy 62%. I have 3 of those and I'm swinging them over. And other than that, the only new position is actually GoPro. I saw the chart. I could show you in a second. The chart looks a little bit weak to me, so it's just a quick short-term trade. I have 25 puts. The strike price is 1050. As of now, these are up 60%. So I'm swinging that into tomorrow. I'm looking for a gap fill closer to $11. So that's my plan on all the new positions. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. What I talk about, I put my money where my mouth is. Especially if you're in the live stream, I announce the trade. I tell you when I'm getting in, my thoughts. But for all of you who don't have enough time to hang out in the live streams, I like to give you a full portfolio update to let you know where I'm at. So overall today, I locked in $2.2 thousand, and obviously that is crazy money. I'm super happy about that. But don't get it wrong. As of now, I still have calls on GameStop, and I'm down 97% on them. So pretty much all of my money, $250, they expired this Friday. Not looking good with GameStop getting its teeth kicked in. I'm down $7K on that. And don't forget, I still have my AMC calls, my AMC shares, my GME shares. So even though I locked in 2.2K, my unrealized gains is in a worse situation for sure. Before we hop into what's going on with GameStop and AMC, let me quickly give you a quick update on the overall market, the S&P 500, of why I bought those puts. This blue trend line you can form if you connect the March low of 2020 to the low in October of 2020. Basically, my point in saying this trend line, it's very important. This low to this low, we broke it. To be fair, the last time we broke it was on March 4th, and right away the very next day we got back up into it. So this time I bought puts just in case we don't get back up into it. If the market gets above 389.5 tomorrow and we hold, I'll cut those puts for a loss. But this is just a hedge. in case there's a greater sell-off. So that's what I'm looking for. I'll be looking to see how the overall market, the S&P 500, reacts to the support at 385. And below that, we have this trend line, which for tomorrow will be around 383. So I'm watching that 383 to 385 area to potentially lock in some of those profits from the S&P 500 put play. So overall for the market, I'm expecting a bit of bearishness in the market tomorrow. So just be a little bit prepared for that. That's how things are gearing up. And now let's get to the star of the show. Today I want to do it in reverse order. Usually I start with AMC. Today I want to talk about GameStop. GameStop closed the day at 120, which means it dropped 34%. In post-market trading, as I'm filming this, it's at 116, which means it's down an additional 3%. So in the past week, it's dropped 42%. I understand that is very painful. Myself included, we're down quite a bit of money, but keep in mind, over the past month, it's still up 167%. In fact, in every other major time frame, it's in the green right here, 167, 674, 1,000, 500, 2,700. So overall, I didn't want to see a 42% sell-off. That's obviously painful, but keep in mind of where we've come. I mean, in 1 month, we're still up 167%. So I just wanted to point out the big picture to you. And before we get into these technicals, you might be wondering, well, why did GameStop sell off so much? Yesterday, after the market closed, they did have their earnings announcement. They technically missed, and I think most of us agree that even at these levels, we're still trading above the fair fundamental value for GameStop. But why was it so brutal? And I think it's best summed up in this article. GameStop stock is tumbling because its earnings report mattered after all. Not really. I wouldn't, even though we miss on earnings per share and revenue, I think there's something more interesting in this article. GameStop stock was falling fast on Wednesday after the company's fiscal fourth quarter results disappointed analysts. There's also another elephant in the room. This is the key takeaway. The company is considering selling more stock, which could continue to dilute its shares. So before we get into this, I'm not fear-mongering or anything. They did not dilute shares. They're just considering it. And with missing on the earnings report and then this potential consideration, that's why I think so many people panicked today. To clarify though, there's no official announcement about share dilution. It's just being considered. And whenever there's risk in the market, stocks really don't like that. In a filing with the SEC, GameStop said it had been evaluating whether or not to increase the size of its previously announced $100 million at-the-market stock sale program. So basically, the fear is in the question, are they going to do this? Aren't they going to do this? The way I personally feel about it is obviously they would do it to raise money and hopefully use that money to help the long-term fundamentals of the company. But Ryan Cohen, the co-founder of Chewy, who joined the GameStop board in January of this year, he's very much against short sellers. He's very supportive of the social movement of making the hedge funds pay. With him in the room, I just don't see how they would go through with share dilution. I truly don't. I don't know. I'm not on the board. Surprisingly, they don't call up a guy in a duck shirt and ask me my opinion of if they should dilute the shares or not. I don't think that they will. I don't think, even if they do, I think it would be down the road. But I don't know. This is just my opinion on it. I just want to clarify, the dilution didn't happen. They're just considering it. And even with that up in the air, you can see from Wall Street analysts that they're all over the map with it. So one of these analysts has a price target of $30, calling the earnings announcement anticlimactic. Obviously, he's being a negative Nancy. And then we have this other analyst, Stephanie, who has a price target of $175. So with such a disparity with that's a $145 disparity. Like, why are analysts themselves in such disagreement? Well, the latter one right here, Stephanie, who has a price target of $175, argued that the moves by Chewy co-founder and GameStop board member Ryan Cohen to transform the company into more of a technology firm warrant a completely different valuation method. So right now, we're not really talking about a squeeze in this social movement. We're talking about like the fair fundamental value and basically with GameStop kicking butt in e-commerce sales. So this is now trending upward. So Stephanie really, really likes that. And on top of that, she brought up an interesting point, which I haven't thought of. GameStop has the potential to participate in the rise of non-fungible tokens or NFTs. Right now, if you've been paying attention to the stock market, JFIN, Dolphin, TCAT, like the list goes on about all these stocks that are just literally saying NFT and the stock is skyrocketing. So I wouldn't put it past Ryan Cohen and the board to be like, hey, GameStop is going to get into the world of NFTs just for a momentary push, which could trigger a short squeeze, gamma squeeze, basically just the stock going higher and higher. There is a lot of opportunity. Overall, yes, GameStop did miss on the earnings announcement. They missed on revenue. They missed on earnings per share. There was no questions, no interesting announcements. Just it was kind of boring. The most exciting announcement is that they got rid of the private jet and they hired Jenna Owens, and that was actually previously announced to be I believe, the chief operating officer. She's worthwhile to give a quick Google search. She's pretty awesome. She worked at Amazon. She worked at Google. So that's a great acquisition for the company. Strong personnel hire. But other than that, so yes, the company missed on earnings, and there is fear about dilution, which once again, to fully reiterate, I don't think it'll happen. They look at the possibility of it, but truly, I just don't see why they would do it, and I just don't see why they would do it now, but I'm also not on the board. I also don't think, and this is where we get into the world of conspiracy theories, but there's been, if you just search GameStop, if you look them up on Google, on FinViz, there's so many negative pieces that got pushed out, like an abnormal amount for any stock. I don't know if I can't say that anyone's being paid to do it or what's going on. This one seems like, from Connor Smith, seems like a legitimate article, but today alone, I counted a handful of, on Motley Fool, 4 dangerous Robinhood stocks that could lose 50% or more. Guess what? They're talking about AMC and GME. Let's get rid of that one. Next one. These are all in chronological order. Why is everyone talking about AMC Entertainment? You read it, once again, super negative. These are all from today. Does AMC Entertainment deserve to be trading at $10 a share? Like, it just seems like such an abnormal amount. 3 of the market's top stocks that are too hot to handle. Guess what? AMC on the list. Like, it's just so like an insane amount of negativity, and I'm just questioning, like, why are so many different authors, all from Motley Fool, all writing this? Why AMC Entertainment is falling 5% today? Like, just all super negative stuff. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know why there's so much negativity. It seems a little sus to me, but that's just obviously my own opinion. So GameStop, before we get into the quick technicals of it, I just wanted to point out the short volume ratio from 20%. As of my most recent update, the short shares available are literally 0. You can no longer short GameStop. The shorts are that heavy into it. And also, as we can see here, the short borrow fee is apparently not announced. It's just 0, which is absolutely crazy. So that's how heavy the shorts are on GameStop at this moment in time. GameStop right now, it looks like it fell a bit more. It's now down at 116. Just keep in mind, it's still up 167% in the past month. In terms of technicals, tomorrow, not only is 100 a key psychological level, but it's a previous important technical level. So if things get very bad tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for a bounce off of that on the way back up. The closest resistance is 158, followed by 185. That's what I'll personally be looking for in GameStop. Here's a better view on the 30-minute chart for GME. Really, ever since March 12th, just been getting hit. Then with, less than satisfactory earnings call yesterday, no bombshell, cool announcements. It's been sold off. People are now worried about dilution. It got hit even harder. So I'm looking for this support to come in at 100. Even outside of the world of short squeezing or anything like that, if I didn't know GameStop, this chart has been so beaten down. You could even see it in the RSI. The RSI is the technical indicator on the bottom here. It stands for Relative Strength Index, and it basically maps out bullish momentum against bearish momentum. It has values of 0 to 100. When it gets very high, that's a lot of bullish momentum. When it gets very low, that's a lot of bearish momentum. A lot of day traders, swing traders, investors use it for reversion plays. For example, when it got very high, 350, the RSI was blown out, and then it took a breather. It came down. When it got very low, let's say here on March 16th, the RSI was super low. Hey, look at that. We saw a bounce. So once again, the RSI is blown out in the bearish direction. It's what's referred to as being oversold. I am definitely looking for a bounce for the remainder of this week on GameStop. And as you're about to see, also AMC. Once again, I am looking for a bounce for the remainder of the week. Now let's quickly switch gears. Let's look at the big picture on AMC. Very similar, and that's because these stocks are being treated in a similar manner. Right now, AMC, it closed out the day at 902. It dropped 15%. Both of these are obviously on SSR tomorrow. But anyway, AMC, it's actually gaining in post markets at 925. So it's down 33% a week, but guess what? Over the past month, up 17%. Over the past 3 months, up 236%. So very, very similar. I know we felt a lot of pain today. We felt a lot of pain over the past basically 5 trading days, but still look at any of the other major time frames and they're in the green. I just want you to look at the big picture. Anyway, after hitting 1454, AMC is now selling off. There is now going to be a bit of resistance at 940. The closest support is now 9, right where we close. Below that, 840. 840, for whatever reason, is very strong technical support on AMC. Once again, we're actually seeing bullish divergence in the RSI. So what is that? The stock's gone lower, but the RSI hasn't. That means that more people are buying here than they were here on this last dip, commonly a sign of some sideways trading or even perhaps a bounce. So similar to GameStop, I'm looking for AMC to bounce for the remainder of this week. That's just my own opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own thoughts. So right now, AMC trading at 925. The closest support is down at 840, resistance 945, followed by 975. Those will be the 2 targets I'm looking for tomorrow on AMC. One overall reminder for you on this whole GameStop AMC saga is that I just wanted to bring up the chart of the Volkswagen squeeze back in 2008. So when it started to squeeze, obviously it took a while. It took a couple weeks. It was above 50 and then lost almost half of its value and it was trading pretty close to 26 and then it squeezed massively. This is that Volkswagen chart. There are other charts that shows like a different squeeze. My point in bringing this up to you is some of these squeezes, no matter what squeeze you look at, this is just like an example I'm using, is they can go up quite a bit and then take a massive hit and then still squeeze. Just because we're selling off now, my point here is that that doesn't nullify the squeeze. I know you could say that Volkswagen, Porsche, and the German government were involved with it. Yes, that is 100% accurate. My point is that if you just look at any short squeeze chart, there is a pattern. I'm not saying it's common, but there is some sort of precedent of a big squeeze and then it sells off, considerable sell-off, and then an even bigger squeeze. I'm not saying that's what AMC or GME are definitively going to do. In fact, no one knows what these stocks are going to do. Anyone that tells you this is definitively going to happen, they're wrong. They're trying to sell you snake oil. You can't call out a price or a time. The stock market just does not work like that. But there is some sort of precedent for squeezes happening after a considerable sell-off of the initial squeeze. That's all I'm trying to bring to your attention at this moment. So those are my thoughts on AMC and GME. Obviously, we're not having a good time. They took a considerable hit, but I don't think that this game is over. That's obviously my personal opinion. We talked about the overall stock market. So one thing I just want to bring to your attention now is Tesla. I know that there's some people interested in Tesla who watch this channel. After being range bound, there was a fake out breakdown. Then Tesla was acting strong. And once again, it looks like we might have another mini breakdown. I don't have a Tesla position right now in my public portfolios. I'm invested in Tesla in my private portfolio for the long run. But in terms of the short term, I think there's a realistic chance that Tesla's coming down to this 600 to 615 range. I think that's a realistic test, potentially a good dip buy opportunity, maybe an opportunity to pick up some call options, but we'll be looking for that. Overall, my eyes obviously tomorrow will be on AMC and GME. I want to watch the overall market, and I'm going to be looking for Tesla to see if I can get a nice dip buy opportunity in this region. Also, worthwhile to point out, right here, just a little bit of Bitcoin talk to wrap this up. So ever since breaking down below this trend line here, there's been a bit of weakness. I'm looking to throw in a dip buy around 50,000. It's a nice psychological level, and it would also be a decent retracement and a period for the RSI to cool off ever since this all-time high at 62,000. Just a little Bitcoin update for you. But overall, I would love to get your opinion on AMC and GME in a comment below. Are you done? Are you throwing in the towel? Or I'm truly am curious. Or are you going to continue to diamond hand it? And do you think that the squeeze is still potentially on? Let me know your unfiltered thoughts in a comment below. I would love to hear from you. I would love to talk with you. Beyond that, don't forget to join up with the Moon Gang by hitting the subscribe button. If you don't want to miss any of the new pieces of content, hit that bell icon and switch it to always so you're updated with everything. And finally, don't forget, if you want those 2 free stocks, you get one for signing up with Webull and a second one for depositing $100. And until I catch you next time, Space Apes, best of luck in the markets.